Is your income solely tied to the hours that you clock, the hours that you bill, or maybe even your annual salary? What if you could earn while you sleep? Woo! Welcome to Mastering Millionaires, episode number 4, Create Passive Income Streams. Today, we're breaking the 9 to 5. Time for money change? Oh, we're breaking that and diving into the world of smart passive income strategies, a game changer for Scrum practitioners worldwide. It's about giving yourself a 100% raise and building assets that work for you. Get ready to discover how your Agile skills can keep paying off even when you're not in the sprint. It's time to explore the paths less traveled that leads to financial freedom. Welcome to the Scrum Academy podcast, the beacon for Scrum professionals who aspire to extraordinary success. I am Grand Scrum Master Scott, your guide on this very lucrative journey. We've journeyed through specialization. We broaden your Agile sets. We hone your negotiation prowess. Now in episode 4 of our Mastery and Millionaires exclusive series, we're going to revolutionize the way you think about income, not salary, income. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye to solely trading time for money. Say hello to earning potential that doesn't clock out. Whether you're already a Scrum superstar or you're climbing the Agile ladder, it's time to diversify your income streams. Let's build a future where your Agile expertise keeps the returns rolling in. I want to start off today by defining what is passive income. Passive income is earnings derived from a source where the individual, you, is not actively involved on a daily basis, unlike conventional salary. Pretty simple definition, right? Exactly. In other words, you're getting paid for something that you did yesterday, last year, year before that. I give you some examples of what that looks like. Why does this matter? This matters because in Scrum and Agile, Scrum Masters often have periods of intense work. We saw that during the pandemic, and then also followed by quieter times. Right now, we're in quieter times. There's still some Scrum practitioner jobs out there, but you're going to have to do more research. You're going to have to do more applying, doing more networking and things like that, because we are in a different season. When the market slows down like it is now, this is where your passive income can help smooth things out to make sure you and your family still have the income streams still coming in, whether you're working or not, whether you got a job or not, still no problem. Passive income can help smooth out the financial ups and downs. Every society has economic seasons. We have times where we go on to all-time highs, and then we have times where we have an all-time lows. That's just the way it is. So the question becomes, what are you going to do when it goes down? Hopefully, while the market was going up, while you're making all this money during the pandemic, you was thinking ahead, it's going to slow down at some point in time, and you planning and doing the strategic things to make sure that you still got income coming into your family, whether you're employed or not, whether you got a job or not. And that's what we want to talk about today. It also provides a financial safety net, which can give you, Scrum practitioners, the freedom to pursue more ambitious and risky career moves. Now, a lot of our friends, including myself, while we was making all this money during the pandemic, we were strategically investing some in the stock market, some in different things. I'll do another video on that, but they were strategically investing it, making sure that money was making them more money while they sleep. Now, I want to first start off by going back to the last episode. I dropped a lot of gems for you in episode number 3, but I want to go back and unpack some things. Almost at the end of that video, I forgot that Amy owed me $75,000. That was my bill rate to help her give herself a 100% raise. Now, I'm sure when you heard that, you probably said, wow, Scott, that's an awful lot of money. Well, actually, that's pretty cheap. Why did I say it's pretty cheap? Did you know that if you're a contract worker working for a recruiting firm, here's what you might not know. Maybe some of you do know this, and if you do, very nice. So I'm going to give you an easy note. I learned this in my first contract when I got into this space was $65 an hour. I happened to be talking to my project manager one day, and he had the budget, salaries and everything up on his screen. I'm looking over his shoulder. He's showing me some different things. I had some questions about something. I saw my name. Now, told you at that time I was making $65 per hour. But on his sheet, on his project management plan, I was making $100 per hour. Wait a minute. So I asked the project manager, I said, hey, this here number you got in your spreadsheet is wrong. I'm not making $100 per hour. I make 65. He said, oh, that was one of the things I wasn't supposed to know, right? I wasn't supposed to see that, right? Exactly. So he was like, spit it out, give it to me. And that's when I got educated on that. He said, oh, did you know that if you're a contract worker working for a recruiting firm, the recruiting agency that got you here, they have a different rate and they have the rate that they pay you. So if they paying me $65 an hour, they actually billing the company that I'm working for $100 per. Of course, I left that conversation scratching my head. Interesting. So there's $100 on the table and I'm only getting 65. Where is the other 35 going? That's how they make money, right? Exactly. So that day I figured shortly after that, I created an LLC so that I can do C2C, so that I can begin to do contracts, corporation to corporation, so that I can get all of the money on the table. We'll get back to that in an episode. But just want to make sure you understand that though she actually got a great deal, $25,000 per hour, $75,000 for 3 hours to help her get a 100% raise. Now that was just one time. Now watch this. I got some friends that have been working for the same company and they have the same recruiting agency they've been working for let's say 4 years. So let's go back to that $65 per hour versus $100 per hour. $35 per hour times 4 years. Now that's passive income. Who was doing the work? Me, you was doing the work. Yeah. So when I learned that, I changed my game. Got incorporated LLC so that I can bid on a contract. Now, I'll go deeper into that when I talk about some other income strategies. This is another negotiating technique I didn't call out for you. If you can't get your money on W-2, then maybe you have to go to C2C, corporation to corporation. Exactly. So again, that's part of my negotiating strategy as well. We're talking about passive income. So in her case, it was making $90 per hour. So you can only imagine what the recruiting agency was actually billing the financial firm. They probably billing $150, maybe $200 per hour if she's making $90 per hour. So typically the rate is, I've seen as low as 30% and I've seen as high as 50%. Whatever you make it as a contractor, the recruiter is at least making 25 to 50% of what you make, if you didn't know that. Money on the table. Thank that project manager to this day for him having that screen up when I went over to his desk to ask that question. I thank God for that question coming into my mind. And I was so stuck that I had to go talk to somebody and ask somebody. And like I said, in negotiating, who am I going to go to? The project manager, if I have one on my team, because he or she can navigate me to where I need to go. If they can't answer the question, they certainly can point me in the right direction. Saving time. Exactly. So at first he looked at me like I was crazy. Just like I'm sure when you heard that, you probably, Scott is crazy. No, I just understand different ways to make money. So after I talked to her, I said, "Name, you get ready to come over into the contract world. You do realize if you get this $90 per hour contract, you're going to get your 90, but there's still money on the table that's going to be going to the recruiting agency as well for as long as you're there. And in that particular financial firm, we can only work 18 months at a time, and we have to take off a 3-month cool-off period, as they call it here in North Carolina. Not all financial firms are that way. And what we do is typically go across the street and work at another financial firm, because here in Charlotte, North Carolina, we're one of the banking capitals of the world. Banks everywhere. Banks on every corner. Downtown Charlotte. Leave one, go across the street, go to work for them. No problem. Too easy, right? Exactly. I wanted to unpack that for you. Now, let me tell you another thing that I was thinking about when I made the negotiating video. Remember I told you to build those relationships with your recruiters? Because oftentimes they have other opportunities that you don't even know about. Here's one. We was at dinner one time. I was with my recruiter, his wife, his kids. We was all having dinner. After we had dinner, he said, Scott, I got something for you. I said, okay, what's up? He said, I have a STEM student. I'm like, okay, you got a STEM student. I'm like, okay, where you going with this? So I have a STEM student. He's an immigrant from India. He doesn't quite have all the skills for the company. He's hired, but I need somebody to work with him to get him up to speed on some different things. So he gave me this document from the Department of Homeland Security. Okay. So out of these things, it's an 8-week program. So basically I just take my time at lunch and blah, blah, blah. Stay with me. Some of the topics I had to cover was React Essential Training. We had to talk about Angular form validation. We had to talk about Angular building a data-driven app. Okay, these are things that we had to do to simulate that this person can actually do this work. If not, I was charged to help this person get up to speed. Angular, scope and digest, JavaScript patterns, JavaScript best practices for code formatting, JavaScript test-driven development. Say, Scott, will you train this person? Yeah. At that time, we didn't talk about any money. I did the first one for free. This is a friend talking to a friend. A friend asked me to do something. I said, okay, no problem. I'll do what I can. I walked away from that meeting asking myself, how do you know I can help this person? In fact, I never asked him that question. But I did walk away from the table that day thinking, how in the world do you know I can do this? In fact, I'm going to call him when I get done with this video because I'm curious. You got me curious now. How did he know that I knew this information? Because I'm very discreet about what I share with people. So I walked away from that meeting. We went through the 8-week program. Again, I'm taking my lunch hours to train this person and go through this 50-page of documents. I have all this information, her information, Homeland Security document, all this here stuff, everything that we have to go through. And then once we finish that 8-week program, again, they're already working for the company, but they're not allowed to get all the accesses until they go through this training program with me. Once we completed that, now they get all the access for the company and then they full-fledged. So I got them through the program. They laid it out. I just had to follow the script and make sure all the homework was done, check all the assignments, just like I'm teaching at the university, right? I don't know how you knew. Just like I'm teaching at the university, right? Exactly. So after that was over, it was time for us to have lunch again. So this time we had lunch with this man. Say, man, you did such a good job with Don. I got another client for you. I said, okay. I said, how many more do you have? He said, I have a ton. I said, are you expecting me to continue to do this for free? He said, I was getting to that. So, because we knew each other on a personal level, he told me, okay, like, how much are you getting from the government to do this? So he told me that number. And how much negotiating room do I have with that number that you just gave? He said, I'm thinking about a 50-50 split. I'm like, well, I'm thinking about a 60-40 split. I mean, I'm doing all the work. It's just like I'm teaching a class. Every week I got to grade papers. I got to go through assignments. If they get stuck on some things, I got to walk them through. I said, no. How about 60-40? You got the approval on that. Now, this is not passive income yet. I'm getting there. Again, this is just another opportunity. Could be passive. Get ready to get to that in a moment. Now, what makes this passive is when I negotiated a 60-40 split for training them initially. And then part of my contract was, okay, when they go to work, for as long as they stay to work for this firm, I get X amount of dollars. And they agreed to it. So now that's the passive piece of what I just did. Yeah, I trained them for 8 weeks. And it got so big to the point where we had to have a classroom type of setup. We needed more space. Yeah. 60-40 split. And then when they go to work, I'm still getting paid a monthly check. I'm getting a portion of what the recruiter gets. Again, thinking about that $65, $100. So out of that $35, I took a percentage of that $35. The employee was still fine. They still got their money. But now I'm tapping into the recruiter's money for doing what I'm doing. I make a ton of money doing that still to this day. Why? Because they're still employed. And that's work I did in 2019, 2020. Still getting. Now here's another opportunity for you that you may not have never thought about. I'm pretty sure that you've had somebody to ask you, hey, do you have any jobs at your company? And you've gone through a recruiting agency and you just refer people to the agency. They use your name, but you don't get any money for it. Did you know that they do have a referral fee? Mostly they're the same. In terms of what they will pay you, that is different, but it typically works this way. Basically, for however long the person is employed, they will pay you a percentage of an hourly rate, but they won't pay you until the end of the month. So once the month is over, you get a check, direct deposit into your account for that particular month for that particular person. So think about it like this. I don't know about you, but I refer hundreds, at this point, thousands of people to jobs. And if they get the job, I'm all happy for them. They get the money they want. And I'm looking for ways to create passive income. And sometimes you're going to have to check that. Because some recruiters, I'm going to tell you that. I found this out from a friend. She said, hey, because she called me and said, did you tell so-and-so that I referred you? I said, yeah, I did. Well, I didn't get my check this month. I'm like, what check? She said, you do know that you get money for referring people. I said, no, I didn't know that. No recruiter ever told me that until I had this conversation with a friend that knew the game. So now I'm sharing the game with you. So I was like, I know that. Wow, at that particular point, I probably referred like 100 people to get a job. Left money on the table because I did not know. Now I know. I even went back to all those people that I referred, talked to recruiters, said, hey, man, I've never got my check for this person. I'm looking, when do y'all pay? Monthly, quarterly, annually? You're playing dumb, right? Oh, it's like, yeah. They're not going to tell you. You have to know it. So, yeah, and giving you some more game. Leaving money on the table. How are you leaving money on the table? Now, let's go back to Amy for a second. I'm sure that you've had somebody come to you and say, hey, can you help me and teach me Scrum so that I can get a job? Okay. But why are you giving your services and your skill set up for free? Because if they go work through a recruiter's going to take a portion of their salary for as long as they employ. So why don't you, okay, hey friend, hey cousin, hey nephew, hey brother, hey sister, I tell you what, I will help you out. And this is how I first started when I was consulting people one-on-one. I said, okay, here's what we can do. Since you can't pay me right now, that's what I did with Amy. You can't pay me right now. I tell you what, when you start to work, this is the amount that we're going to agree on. Typically like $5,000. If I'm going to help you get a job, assuming that it's $65 an hour. At $65 an hour, if you're a single person, you bring it home close to $10,000 a month after taxes. Pretty close, $65 an hour. And I'm single. So if you got children, if you're married, it's going to be more than that. At minimum, I'm going to do $5,000 a week until the debt is paid. But in her case, she had 2 checks coming in, so her rate was $10,000. Because in her case, she was bringing home over $20,000 a month. $10,000 a month to the debt. Easy math. Took her 7.5 months for her to pay me off. And we're done. We're done. Passive income. So I worked 3 hours on the front end to get her to where she needed to be. Now she's working. Now I got $10,000 coming in every month for the next 7 months. And the last month is going to be $5,000. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be somebody else like Amy that's going to come along, want me to help them, want me to coach, and want me to mentor them. The fee is going to be the same. $25,000. They're going to look at me like I'm absolutely crazy. But when I break it down, like I'm breaking it down to you right now, oh, I get it. I'm like, isn't that cheap? Yeah. Scott, you need to go up. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I really am thinking about it. But here's the deal. I thought about charging maybe $50,000 an hour. It's not that big of a deal to me because I know we're going to need at least 3 hours for you to get what you need and be legendary. To hit the ground running, knowing everything you need to know, how to navigate. Boom, boom, boom. So it's okay. Thinking about going up. I don't know if I will, but we'll see. Or maybe I think of some other cool strategy. Okay, $25,000 up front. And maybe I do like the recruiters. I could turn that into even a better passive income situation, right? $25,000 up front. And then when you get the job, another $1,000 a month for as long as you employ. I really can stretch that. I didn't say with that company for as long as you employed. Some other ways you can work that out. So those are a few strategies that are out of the box I don't even talk about those strategies in my masterclass because those are things that I still do those. I got other things I do now. You think that's wild? Wow. Nah, that's just wild. No, that's just wild. No. I'm doing wild things now. Yeah. Mhm. Just last month, just secured $1 million contract with the STEM program again. They want some professional Scrum Masters classes to be taught to their students. Scott, will you teach the classes? I can, but I don't know. It depends on what I'm doing at the time. If I have a contract where I'm working for some Fortune 100 company, if I have the time to do it, great. If not, I just hire another professional Scrum trainer to go teach it. And that way I can turn that into another passive income situation. Passive income means, hey, I'm not there. I don't have to do the work, but I have the contract. I can give somebody a piece of what the total contract is. They happy. I'm happy. I'm still making money over here. Well, I got somebody over there working on that. Win-win-win situation. Absolutely. Now, let me give you 5 things that you can do. The reason I wanted to highlight that for you is, if you think about it, all of those opportunities came from what? The relationships that I had. This $1 million contract I signed, where did it come from? Was I looking for it? No. It was, hey, you need to go talk to Scrum Master Scott. Ain't cheap. I tell people my prices, I don't flinch. I don't flinch. Were the numbers off in the beginning? Oh, they was way off. But I had my baton. My baton from the last episode. I had my baton in place. I was willing to walk away because I didn't need their money. If I can't make $1, it don't make no sense. Prepared to walk away if I have to. Yeah, you contacted me. I ain't soliciting work. So let's talk about some things that you can do. Let me give you 5 ideas for passive income for Scrum Masters. You could create an online course or workshop. You do know that the Scrum Guide is open source, right? Of course, you can't sell it, but if you know the Scrum Guide, you can teach it. You don't have to be a certified Scrum trainer to teach anybody about Scrum or Agile. You just have to know it enough and build trust and a community of people who trust you enough to guide you through this process. So that's open source. So you can create your own online course and workshop. And oftentimes I have people come to my class. I ask them, say, how did you learn about Scrum? And they say, TikTok. I say, TikTok? What? I say, hey, is that an online class, workshop? No, but that's somebody who put themselves out there in the market, and hey, evidently they're getting some notoriety. If nothing else, they creating a passive revenue stream by building up a subscribers list on TikTok and or YouTube, either way. So online courses and workshops, you can do that. Ebooks are easy for a person to write. We have one coming out very, very soon here at Scrum Academy. I will definitely give you a personal invitation when I am ready to publicly release it. So the third thing anybody can do that's actually a Scrum or Agile practitioner, but there's a lot of Scrum Master tools and templates out there. Some people spend all their time on boards like Miro and Miro. They create these nice, amazing templates that Scrum teams could use, and they charge you for it if you want to download their particular template. And that's perfectly fine. Again, they're thinking out the box. They're thinking of ways to create passive incomes on the tools that, in most cases, we are going to use at some point in time in our career. So ask yourself, what tools are you using that you could potentially monetize? You know it good enough. Remember, I talked about the last episode about some of my friends are Jira admins. Do you know Atlassian Jira well enough that you can go teach somebody on it? Sure, there's a lot of videos out there on it. For the person that takes the time, all the videos are out there in terms of anything that you ever want and need to know about Jira. It's all online. You could even stay on the Atlassian Jira site and watch their videos. If not, you can go to YouTube and watch their videos. Either way, I would imagine you're going to be a Jira expert by the time you do all of that. And you can show a whole lot of people a lot of tips and tricks. So that's another way. Scrum Master tools and templates. You know it well enough where you could teach somebody. Or you can create something wild that your Scrum team is going to need. Look around. Make sure you're aware. Look at your team. What does your team need? Look at the tools that you create. Okay, those are your tools. Can you monetize those tools? Create some passive income. Very nice. Now, in some places, you got to keep this in mind. I'm thinking about for the person who may be new to this space. A lot of times when you go into like a financial firm, you cannot send an email to yourself. If you do, you might get fired. You're probably going to get fired because that's part of the agreement before you even come to the door. Imagine a financial institution is a lot of regulation, a lot of privacy, a lot of concerns there. So I'm thinking about all the stuff that you create, let's say in a financial firm. If you create it on their platform, it's theirs. In some companies I work at, I don't have to worry about if I email myself, I may get fired. So I may make it, on the company time. I may make it on the company software. I'm thinking like a mural board or something. I created this wow template for my team to use in a retrospective. I want to keep my template. And I have my own personal mural account. I go to my boss and look, hey, I want to keep this for my personal record. I'm sure I want to be on another Scrum team. Is it okay for me to do that? So I certainly would ask before you do that, just to make sure you're not doing something that you didn't know about. Affiliate marketing. You can do that. Partner with somebody. Or if you see a product that's out there, that's pretty much what I'm doing with the recruiting agency. I'm actually doing a type of affiliate marketing. I'm referring people to this recruiting agency, and in turn of me doing that, they're going to give me a kickback. They're going to give me a portion of the person's salary for as long as they're employed. If they get employed, of course, they got to get hired first. But if they get hired, I will get a piece of that for as long as they're employed with that particular, because I referred. Membership community is the fifth thing that you can do. Anybody, Scrum, Agile practitioner, anybody can do this. I got one of my friends that all they do is send out a Scrum newsletter every day. Well, you know what? It's not even a newsletter. All they do is send out some type of Scrum motivational statement every day. Now, this person has 10,000 people in his email database, and I think people who are subscribed, I think it's like, $5 a month? Some low number, low enough where you don't really miss it. You don't really think about $5 a month. But $5 a month times 10,000 is what? Are y'all tracking? Exactly. $5 times 10,000 subscribers every month. Not bad. I'm thinking about that myself. Membership community. So all for these things have helped you to navigate. All for these things will help you think about some ideas. My goal today was to try to stretch your imagination. Yeah. Exactly. Not just think out of the box. No, I want to stretch your imagination. There's just so much money to be made out here. You just have to calm down and drown out the noise and just allow yourself an opportunity to think. Yeah. Think and Grow Rich. Yeah. Beautiful book. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, I believe it is. Think and Grow Rich. Instead of being so busy, just sit back and just chill. Just watch. Watch what's going on in your environment. Watch what's going on. What does it need? Where do you see other Scrum Masters struggle? Figure out a solution to that and figure out a way to monetize that. And I know you'll be very, very well. So those are a few things that I hopefully can help you out. But Scott, you're giving us all this information. When we come to the masterclass, what are you going to teach them? Oh, this is stuff that's not even in the masterclass curriculum. These are just things I forgot about. And when I turned on the camera today, I said, I forgot about it. Let me talk about that. Let me talk about that. None of these things are in the book. None of these things are in the masterclass. And these are just things that I just have done and forgot about, actually. I'm on to different things. I'm evolved. I'm doing like wow stuff, right? Yeah, this is why. Yeah, this is why. When you come to the challenge, that's going to be wow. When you come to the masterclass, that's going to be wow. I think I've stretched your imagination enough today. You're only limited by your imagination. Plenty more I can tell you. I'm going to let you marinate on some of those things. I gave you 8 things today. 5 that anybody can do. The other 3 that you can build up to that level. It all begins with your network. Taking every relationship as an opportunity. This person might be able to help me somewhere at some point in time in the future. If not right now. You never know. But people are always watching you. So be a person, be a man of your word, be a woman of your word. Always be cognizant of that. With that said, that's a wrap on Create Passive Income Streams. By now, you have a lot of ideas brewing with these insights on transforming your valuable Scrum knowledge into a continuous income source. Very nice. You're no longer just a participant in the Scrum field. You're becoming an innovator of income, using your Agile skills to craft streams that flow into your bank account continuously. If you found today's content enlightening, Share the wealth with your Scrum Circle. It's a move that pays forward. And of course, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to never ever miss an episode from Scrum Academy. It might just be the spark they need to start their own journey towards financial freedom. Join me in the next episode as we bring yet another lucrative strategy to light. Until then, keep dreaming up those passive income ideas and start laying the groundwork for a richer future. From the Scrum Academy family, we're here cheering you on as you build not just apps and sprints, but a legacy of success. I am Grand Scrum Master Scott, encouraging you to plant the seeds for passive income today so that you can reap the financial harvest tomorrow. Until next time, keep building your Agile empire and let your expertise work for you day and night. I'm thinking about Michael Jackson right now. I think I'm going to listen to that after this here recording. Got me working day. Woo! Michael Jackson, got me working day and night. I'm about to put that on the playlist for tonight. As we close this chapter, remember that each step in your Scrum journey can compound into a portfolio of prosperity. See you next time for more transformational tactics. Remember, every step you take on this Scrum Academy podcast series is a compound step towards elevating your mastery and millionaire status. A richer life, both professionally and personally. Don't miss our next episode, where we'll continue to chart your course to give yourself a 100% raise. But now, keep innovating, and remember, in the world of Agile, there are no limits to your success. In the meantime, be agile, do Scrum, and be super duper legendary. I'll see you in the next episode.